In last year's special Halloween episode, the AVSuperfriends, Mark, Jamie, Larry, Chris, and Justin took on an AV installation job at an abandoned hospital with a notorious history of hauntings. As they worked, the team encountered eerie phenomena like flickering lights, disappearing tools, and ghostly figures on projectors. While troubleshooting, the team discovered the system's faulty wiring was generating a paranormal energy field that attracted spirits. As they worked to fix the issue, Justin leapt into the energy field and disappeared, leaving the team stunned. Despite successfully repairing the system and dispelling the hauntings, Justin remained trapped in a bizarre limbo dimension. And now, Independent Amalgamated presents the AVSuperfriends in The Ghost in the Machine. Scene 1, a call to action. The setting is a classroom with chaotic AV equipment scattered around, tangled cables, a flickering projector, and a smart board with a ghostly glow. A frazzled local AV manager, Jerry, nervously taps a mic that emits a loud feedback squeal. Professor Harold Winthrop and several students murmur and look around, confused and irritated. Suddenly, the projector flashes erratically, the lights dim, and ghostly sounds echo through the speakers. The smartboard scribbles ghostly writing, "Help me."
Attention everyone. I assure you, everything is under control. It's just a little, technical glitch.
Under control? Jerry, you said that yesterday. I'm starting to think we're in our own horror movie. I'm already behind on my lecture, and we're still staring at a black screen.
It was working fine, Professor, I swear. The system always goes glitchy in the fall. The projector's got a mind of its own sometimes.
Cameron, the class clown student, sitting in the back, raises his hand with exaggerated enthusiasm.
Maybe the projector's just camera shy, Professor. Or maybe it's haunted. Ooh.
Clever, Cameron. Perhaps you'd like to come down here and teach this lecture instead?
Sure thing, Professor. Just let me grab my ghost hunting gear.
The students chuckle. Winthrop sighs deeply, clearly at his wit's end.
Jerry, I don't care if this thing's possessed by the spirit of Edison. Get it working, or I'll be explaining quantum theory with chalk. At least I know that tech always works.
I'm trying, Professor. I'm trying. It's just these new systems are, well, they're a bit temperamental. Just a few bugs we're still working out.
The projector flickers briefly, then flashes a distorted image on the screen. Strange, warped lines, followed by an eerie static hiss.
There it is! The ghost! I told you guys it was trying to communicate. We need to be taking some notes. This is probably going to be on the final exam.
More students laugh as the projector glitches again, showing random distorted clips of an old black and white film before cutting out entirely. Professor Winthrop gives Jerry a long, disappointed look.
Jerry, unless this spirit can explain Schrodinger's cat, I suggest you call for backup.
Way ahead of you, Professor. Maybe this place really is haunted.
Yeah, sure. It's the haunting of AV Hall. Give me a break. Yo, Jerry, I just got off the phone with support, and they said that you should probably try to turn it off and turn it back on again. Works for my Xbox every time.
Laughter from the students. The lights flicker more wildly, and the ghostly sounds grow louder. Jerry, now desperate, pulls out his phone and dials.
Yeah, thanks for the tip. Real helpful.
All right, everyone, calm down. We'll get through this despite the technological sabotage.
Or the ghostological sabotage. Am I right, y'all?
Jerry finally finds the number he's looking for. He paces back and forth as the phone rings. The students are still giggling, and the class clown pretends to film the whole fiasco with his phone.
Come on, pick up.
A few more snickers from the class. Jerry steps away from the front of the room as the phone call connects. He speaks urgently into his phone. The setting shifts to the AVSuperfriends headquarters. It's a mix of high-tech and clutter. A wall filled with tangled cables, half-opened gadgets, and a whiteboard with frantic notes and doodles. Mark, Jamie, Larry, and Chris are seated around a table, looking bored.
So what's on today's crisis forecast? Another projector that won't turn on because someone forgot to press the power button?
Maybe another urgent call to switch a Windows PC from extended to mirrored.
Jamie is fiddling with an inexpensive cable tester, muttering under his breath.
If they just used the budget models, we wouldn't even have half these problems.
Larry is reading an article on hybrid teaching, shaking his head.
Guys, focus. We're here to help, not complain. Think about the teachers and students relying on us.
Mark's phone rings loudly with a dramatic ringtone. He jumps up and answers.
AVSuperfriends, Mark speaking. How did you get this number?
A burst of static and Jerry's panicked voice is heard on speaker.
Mark, it's Jerry from the university. We got ghosts or something. The equipment's going haywire. I need the AVSuperfriends now.
The room falls silent for a beat. The team looks at each other, wide-eyed, then bursts into action.
Ghosts? Really, Jerry? What'd you plug in this time, a Ouija board?
I told you we should have taken that ghost hunting course.
If it's affecting the whole system, it's not just a fluke. We need to check it out.
Mark grabs a toolkit. Jamie picks up his favorite cheap test gear. Larry checks the schematics on his tablet, and Chris rolls his eyes, but follows along. They all move toward the AVSuperfriends mobile, a custom 1983 GMC Van Dura with gadgets attached.
All right, Super Friends, we've got a mission. Let's find out what's spooking their systems. Larry, what's that address again?
Let's see. We're going to corner of Baker Street and Joe Way. Address is 404 Joe Way.
Nothing ever works over on Joe Way.
Speaking of nothing ever works, what does Jerry do all day? It's like he doesn't even try.
They all hop in the van. The AVSuperfriends race away towards the university.
Got the title, got the name, but every project ends the same. When it comes to gear, he's in the dark. Easy sell, never leaves his mark. He's at the trade show, eyes so wide. Salesman's pitch, he's ready to sign. Hands so clean, never gets them stained. Always hiring out, can't take the strain. He's the AV guy who just gets by, buying what they sell, no questions why. Outsourcing everything, don't aim too high. The AV guy who won't even try.
Scene 2. Enter the haunted university. The setting changes to the university quad. The AVSuperfriends mobile skids to a stop. Chris parks across 2 reserved spaces and just leaves the hazard flashes on. The team hops out, tools and gadgets in hand.
All right, team. First things first, let's find the source of this mess. We've got ghostly glitches, and I'm betting it's a hardware issue.
Hardware issues? Come on, Larry. This feels more like a cursed HDMI cable.
Nah, we'll be in and out of here in no time. There's just not much we can't fix with 10 minutes and a tweaker.
Chris rolls his eyes and pulls out a simple IR remote control.
Or we could just start with the basics, turn everything off and on again. Always does the trick.
Suddenly, a chilling wind blows through the hallway, and the lights flicker ominously. A distorted voice echoes through the speakers overhead.
Hey, yo, can you hear me? Super friends. I'm here, but not here? I'm trapped somewhere between circuits and code.
The team stops and looks up, startled. Larry taps a button on his tablet, amplifying Justin's voice.
Justin, is that you? Where are you?
I'm in this metaverse matrix-looking thing, trapped. But, hey, warning you all here, there's something going on, something happened in that portal. And Billy Mays was there, and now I'm stuck in this lecture hall metaverse crap. I don't know what's going on.
The static intensifies, and Justin's voice fades away. The flickering lights stabilize for a moment.
Well, that's enough confirmation for me. Haunted lecture hall it is, fellas. Let's get ghost busting.
I've always wanted to try this spectral frequency scanner.
Oh, great, because that's totally a thing we have in the van.
It is.
Wait, hold on. If Justin's right, this is more than just a glitch. We need to figure out why this particular lecture hall is the epicenter. What's special about it?
Mark shrugs and looks around at the ancient building.
Maybe it's got the best Wi-Fi.
A door creaks open, and an old custodian, Mr. Carson, steps out with a flashlight. He's an older man with a gruff demeanor, but a wealth of knowledge. It's clear he's been around long enough to know something's not right. He looks around nervously.
Yous guys, the AV folks they called in? I hope you can do something, because whatever's in there, that shit ain't right. Yous think you're gonna fix this place with all your fancy gadgets. I've been around here long enough to know that shit ain't always the answer, guys.
The team gathers around Mr. Carson, eager for information.
Tell us more about this lecture hall. Anything weird been happening in there recently?
Yeah, I've been here since '83. Place was already acting up back then. I ain't some superstitious old head, but let me tell you, this joint's got history. Weird history. Ain't just busted wires and bad AV setups, man. Goes deeper than that. Things just ain't been right since then, you know what I mean?
The AVSuperfriends exchange a knowing look.
Of course, it always comes back to a bad AV install.
What kind of stuff? You've dealt with the hauntings before?
Hauntings? Man, you don't know the half of it. Back when I started, there was a big renovation. University was trying to modernize and bring in all this new tech. Guess where they decided to put all the new gear? Right on top of the old chapel. Used to be here back then. I'm not talking about some regular old church. This place had a reputation way back.
Whoa. It's built over a chapel. That sounds like some weird-ass poltergeist shit.
Yeah, something like that. They didn't know what they were messing with, though. Philly's got its own share of weird stories, but this place, that's different. I was just doing my rounds back then, minding my own business. Every once in a while I hear voices and whispering through the vents and figuring it was just the wind or something. Maybe just an old pipe creaking. No, the lights start acting up.
He gestures around the room, pointing to the flickering lights above.
Like clockwork, man. Every year around the same time, something's gonna happen. Doors slamming, lights flickering, screens glitching out. One time I even saw an old projector turned on by itself. It was playing some reel from the 40s. Ain't nobody standing there, ain't nobody touched it.
And let me guess, these ghosts were just some old faulty wiring, right?
Nah, kid, it ain't that simple. I fixed my share of busted lights, trust me. This is something else. This is something older. You ask me, the school pissed something off when they started messing with the ground here. This whole area's been acting funny since they built over that old chapel. Spirits ain't resting easy.
So this happens every year? Same time and same kind of disturbance?
Yep. Always around the anniversary of the old chapel being torn down. Every fall, like clockwork. First it's the little stuff, doors creaking, lights flickering, but then they start bringing in more AV gear, and that's when things really get crazy. It's like the spirits ain't happy with all this new tech. They start acting up, messing with your fancy systems, trying to get folks' attention.
And you're sure it's not just a bunch of pranks or students messing around?
Look, I've been cleaning up after kids for over 30 years. I know the difference between a prank and something real. This shit's real. I've seen stuff you wouldn't believe. Last year, I was cleaning up after an event, right? Big old conference in one of the auditoriums. Lights went off for a second. Came back on, projectors playing, some old black and white movie or something. I never seen it before. Problem is, that projector ain't been used in over 10 years.
Alright. Now I'm intrigued. So you have any idea what these spirits want? I mean, if they're real and everything.
Beats me, but they're pissed, that's for sure. Maybe they want the chapel back. Maybe they're just tired of hearing all this newfangled stuff. All I know is every time you try to upgrade something around here, they push back. It's like the tech and the spirits don't mix.
He pauses, then looks at them seriously.
Listen, you guys sound like good people. You're here to fix tech, right? And just remember, you ain't fighting just wires and circuits here. You're fighting history. History don't go down easy, especially around these parts.
The AVSuperfriends exchange uneasy glances, realizing that what they're dealing with is more than just faulty equipment. Mr. Carson gives them a final look before heading off, his mop slung over his shoulder.
Good luck, kids. You guys be careful. We don't often get ghosts on campus, but there's certainly something strange in here. I'm heading out. I ain't coming back till tomorrow.
They head down the hallway, the flickering lights guiding them toward the old lecture hall door. As they approach, a low hum starts to grow louder. The door swings open on its own with a creak.
Eesh, stay sharp, everyone. Something's not right.
They enter the lecture hall cautiously. The projector flickers on and off, displaying random symbols and static. The interactive display is incredibly dim, with images burned into the screen. The cheaply made screen scribbles erratically with ghostly letters that fade in and out. Help me. Suddenly, a loud feedback screech fills the room. Everyone covers their ears.
Okay. That's not an end user's manual I've ever read.
Just let's be honest, you've probably never really read a single one.
Larry taps the screen of his tablet, pulling up a schematic of the building.
Look, this system was designed to work with the new power grid, but something's off. Way off. There's a power draw here that just doesn't make any sense.
Justin's ghost briefly appears on the interactive display, glitchy and distorted.
Y'all are closer than ever. But be careful. Something is feeding off this energy.
Before he can say more, the interactive display flickers and shuts off. The room goes dark again.
Jeez, we need to get to the source, and fast. If something's feeding off the power, it could be a lot more dangerous than we first thought.
Alright, Super Friends. Time to do what we do best. Dig in, get messy, and solve this damn thing.
The lights flicker back on, just enough to illuminate the team in a dramatic, heroic pose. They move deeper into the lecture hall, determined and ready to face whatever comes next.
Who you gonna call when the screens go black? Who you gonna call when the sound goes flat? Who you gonna call when the system stalls? AVSuperfriends, we do it all! Who you gonna call? AVSuperfriends! We're the team on the scene when the signal ends. Who you gonna call? AVSuperfriends! We're the ones you trust when the tech descends. From projectors to speakers to screens and more, we fixed every gadget, we've opened every door. We don't fear the unknown, we don't fear the call. We're the AVSuperfriends, we handle it all. Who you gonna call? AVSuperfriends! AVSuperfriends. When the lights go out and the tech offends, who you gonna call? AVSuperfriends. Wired up and ready till the very end. So when the ghosts come calling, when the systems fall, remember who to trust, who you gotta call. AVSuperfriends, yeah, that's who you call. AVSuperfriends will answer them all.
Scene 3, into the heart of the haunting. The setting is inside the old lecture hall. The room is large, with rows of desks, an ancient projector hanging from the ceiling, and an interactive display that occasionally flickers to life with ghostly scribbles. The atmosphere is tense, with shadows dancing across the walls. The AVSuperfriends are spread out, examining the room. The eerie hum continues, punctuated by the occasional flicker of lights. The room feels alive, almost breathing, as the team moves cautiously through it.
So, we've got a projector from the last millennium, and an interactive display that thinks it's possessed. I'd say this is a textbook case of end-of-life tech meets modern problems.
Yeah, more like end-of-life budget meets my genius. Give me a few minutes. I'll rig something up. Let's stabilize this power.
Not just about the power, Jamie. The whole system is feeding into something. Something that shouldn't be here. There's a surge coming from...
Larry taps the screen, zooming in on a specific area of the building layout.
Right under this lecture hall.
Figures. I'm telling you, we should just cut the power and see what happens. Simple, clean, done.
Suddenly, the interactive display flickers violently, and the ghostly letters return, this time forming words that everyone can actually see, just barely. Help me. Find the source. It's beneath.
You're so close. The source, it's somewhere below, but it feels dangerous.
The words on the interactive display begin to drip as if they were written in liquid, then disappear completely. The room falls silent, except for the low hum.
Looks like we're going underground.
Yeah! Real adventures! Wonder if there's a hidden lab or something down there.
Yeah, because every haunted lecture hall needs a secret lab.
There's an access hatch over there near the corner. It's marked as a maintenance entrance on the original blueprints. If Justin's right, it should lead us to the source.
The team moves toward the corner of the room, where a small, almost unnoticeable hatch is embedded in the floor. Mark kneels down and begins to pry it open with a multi-tool.
Let's see what our friendly neighborhood ghost has got us into this time.
The hatch opens with a creak, revealing a narrow, dark staircase leading down into the depths of the building. A gust of cold air rushes up, carrying with it the faint sound of static and distant voices.
So... this is kinda creepy. So who's first?
Larry pulls out a flashlight, the beam cutting through the darkness below.
I'll go. We need to figure out what's down there and shut it off before it spreads to the rest of campus.
Fine, but if we run into any ghostly nonsense, I'm cutting every wire I see.
They begin their descent one by one, with Larry leading the way. The staircase creaks under their weight, the sounds of the haunted AV system growing fainter as they go deeper. The darkness surrounds them, with only the faint beams of their flashlights visible.
Bet you $100 there's a cursed server down here.
You're on. And if there is, dibs.
The team reaches the bottom of the stairs, finding themselves in a dimly lit, dusty basement filled with old, discarded AV equipment. Wires hang from the ceiling like vines, and ancient monitors flicker on and off with static images of ghostly faces. A low, throbbing hum pulses through the room, growing louder as they approach a central, sealed-off area.
Experimental lab. Authorized personnel only. And it's stuck. Or locked.
Well, shit, we're here, so we're authorized.
Jamie reaches for the door handle, but it's stuck. Mark steps forward and simply kicks the door handle. With a loud creak, the door swings open, revealing the source of the haunting. Inside the room is a large, cylindrical device surrounded by cables and monitors. It's pulsing with energy, casting an eerie glow. At its center, a distorted, flickering hologram of Justin is trapped, cycling through different forms, his image stretching and compressing as if he's caught in a loop.
You found it, but hurry. It's pulling me apart and I guess kind of tickles too. It's feeding on me and the system. It's getting wicked in here, guys.
We need to shut this down now.
Yeah, it looks like it's running on its own power source. I'll rig something up to bypass that, but give me a few minutes.
Or I could just cut the power, like I said.
Whoa. Let Jamie work his magic.
Jamie works quickly, connecting wires and adjusting the equipment. The hum grows louder, and the hologram of Justin begins to stabilize, his voice becoming clearer.
Almost there. Just a little bit more.
Larry keeps his flashlight steady, watching the monitors as they flicker between static and clear images of the lecture hall above. The ghostly faces from the monitors begin to fade, replaced by the normal AV system displays.
Boom! Got it. This should cut the power. It'll reset the system. Hold on, Justin. We got you, bro.
Jamie flips a switch, and the room goes silent. The pulsing energy around the device fades, and Justin's hologram flickers one last time before stabilizing completely. The hum is gone, replaced by a low, steady beep.
You did it. You actually saved me. And also stopped it from spreading.
The team watches as Justin's hologram flickers again, then slowly fades away, leaving the room in complete silence. The room lights slowly brighten as the team catches their breath, the tension in the air lifting.
Well, that was one for the books. Let's get out of here before the ghosts change their minds.
Yeah, and next time we're sticking to simple eat it issues, okay?
Agreed. But first, let's make sure this place is shut down for good. We don't need any more surprises.
They begin to pack up their equipment, ready to leave the basement. As they turn to head back up the stairs, Justin's voice echoes one last time, faint but clear.
Thank you, my friends. I'll see you on the other side.
The room lights fade to black as the team climbs the stairs, the haunting finally put to rest. The eerie hum is gone, replaced by a soft, hopeful melody that plays as they exit.
Into the heart of the haunting we go, where the wires crackle and the spirits glow. Secrets hidden in the halls we roam. We've got to fix it and bring them home. Into the heart of the haunting we go, where the wires crackle and the spirits glow. Secrets hidden in the halls we roam. We've got to fix it and bring them home. Time to solve it, figure out what this haunting's all about. We've got tools and we've got brains. We'll untangle these spectral chains. Into the heart of the haunting we go, where the wires crackle and the spirits glow. We're AVSuperfriends who'll make it right, but the real fight's just starting tonight.
Scene 4. The mystery deepens. The scene opens next to the AVSuperfriends mobile, now parked in a handicap spot just outside the main building of the haunted university. The sun is beginning to set, casting long shadows across the campus. The team is gathered around a portable table they've set up, covered with blueprints, tablets, and various AV equipment. They look tired, but determined. A faint static can still be heard coming from one of the open laptops, hinting that the haunting may not be entirely over.
Okay, so we shut down the device in the basement, and we freed Justin. But there's still something not adding up.
You mean besides the fact that we're dealing with a literal ghost in the machine?
Yeah, it's weird. I'm still picking up some interference on the network. It's faint, but it's there. It's almost like there's some other source that's still running.
Great. So we cut the wrong wire, or maybe we didn't cut enough wires.
No, it's not that simple. The interference isn't random. It's coming from a particular point in the library.
The library? Of course. They probably have the oldest systems on campus. I bet the original AV system was installed there in the media center, back when they still used slide projectors and overhead transparencies.
Oh, vintage tech. It's my favorite.
Larry pulls up the building layout on his tablet and zooms in on the library.
There's a server room in the basement of the library. And according to this, it's on the same power circuit as the lecture hall. If there's another source, that's where it would be.
So what are we waiting for? Let's go cut more wires.
Suddenly, the sound of distorted static intensifies, and Justin's ghost briefly flickers on the laptop screen. His image is clearer now, but still faint and glitchy.
Yep, you all are on the right track. It's in the library, but be careful again. There's something more. It's something hidden. It's hard to find.
His image glitches and fades out again, leaving the laptop screen filled with static.
Well, if Justin says it's dangerous, we'd better go check it out.
I'm stoked. Let's go ghost hunting part 2.
The team grabs their gear and heads toward the library, the evening light growing dimmer. The stage shifts, transitioning from the outdoor setup to the inside of the university library. The library is old, with towering bookshelves filled with dusty tomes and dim flickering lights hanging from the ceiling. There's a palpable sense of age and mystery in the air. As they enter, they notice a faint hum coming from the basement level. They follow the sound, moving cautiously past rows of bookshelf stacks and down a creaky staircase. The lighting is dim, and the shadows seem to move as they pass. The air is full of the musty scent of old books and old librarians. Every corner is cluttered with stacks of old microfiche sheets.
Keep your eyes open. We don't know what we're dealing with here.
Shh. It might be the ancient librarian ghost. She probably just wants us to rewind all the tapes.
They reach the bottom of the staircase and find themselves in a narrow corridor lined with old electrical panels and doors to storage rooms. The hum grows louder as they approach a metal door marked server room.
All right. According to the helpful card catalog and the Dewey Decimal System, this is it. Stay sharp, everyone.
He reaches for the handle and opens the door slowly. Inside is a small, cluttered server room filled with outdated equipment. Monitors flicker with distorted images, and wires hang from the ceiling like a spider's web. In the center, a small, ancient computer terminal sits on a desk, humming ominously. The screens display lines of code that seem to shift and change as if alive.
So what now? Another cursed server?
Larry moves cautiously toward the terminal, examining it.
No, this isn't a server. This must be the original network hub for the entire campus AV system. It's ancient, but still connected.
It's awesome. Look at it. It's practically a museum piece. I bet there's some pretty seriously old school malware on it. Check it out.
Suddenly, the terminal screen flickers violently and the lights dim. A distorted face appears on the monitor. Not Justin, but a spectral image of former Professor Blackwell, who looks stern and ghostly, as if trapped in the machine.
Who dare disturbs my work? You have no idea the power I have harnessed.
The room shakes slightly, and sparks fly from the exposed wires. The face on the screen looks directly at the team, eyes glowing.
Whoa, okay. Definitely not part of the user manual. Who is this guy?
I was once known as Professor Blackwell. Now I am but a shadow, bound to this university and the mistakes I made.
Mistakes? You mean like bad cable management or something more serious?
I underestimated the power of the technology here. I thought I could control it, but this university is built on old ground. The spirits of the past are restless, and they found a conduit through the AV system I worked on.
Well, if we know anything, it is simplifying AV systems.
It's not the systems themselves, but the energy they channel. I was experimenting with new kinds of projectors, ones that could interact with energy field. It turns out I opened a gateway to something I didn't fully understand.
Wait, a gateway? Like a portal? Could this be related to what happened to Justin?
Yes, the same forces that trapped him in the metaverse are at play here. This campus has long been a place of strange energies, but I unknowingly amplified them. Now the spirits of the past are tethered to those systems, causing chaos.
Oh, great. So now we've got digital ghosts now. Just what I always needed.
All right, Professor. You clearly know more about this than we do. So what's the fix? Do we just unplug the ghost, or is it more complicated than that?
It's far more complicated. You must not only repair the systems, but also uncover the source of the disturbance. The place where the energies first crossed over. It's hidden deep within the university's foundations. Only then can you sever the link.
Good God. I'm seeing strange patterns here with these symbols and this portal thing I'm stuck in. They look like blueprints, but ancient hieroglyphics or something. I don't recognize these symbols, but they seem to match the designs and the architecture here, though. I'm gonna lose it if an architect's behind this.
Ancient symbols buried in the university's foundations? That actually makes sense. If we could cross-reference the old building's plans with what Justin's seeing, we might find where the energy is the strongest.
So not only do we need to be tech support, now we're archaeologists too?
Hey, it beats rebooting routers all day.
Nothing says fun day at work like digging through cursed blueprints.
Do not take this lightly. The spirits are not to be underestimated. They have been disturbed, and they will not go quietly. But with the right knowledge and teamwork, you can stop them.
All right, Professor. So where do we start?
There is an old library in the East Wing, one that hasn't been touched in decades. Within it lies the original blueprint of this building, complete with the symbols that reveal the ancient energies. Go there, but be warned, the spirits guard it fiercely.
Ooh, ghost librarians. What are they gonna do? Shush us to death?
They are more than mere librarians now. They are the keepers of the knowledge that has been forgotten. Tread carefully.
Okay, I'll keep searching here on my end. See if I can pinpoint anything in this metaverse thing that matches. Be careful out there, y'all.
Got it. We'll cross-reference everything once we have the blueprints. Let's move.
Remember, the key to fixing this lies not in the technology itself, but in understanding the forces that are controlling it.
Well, looks like we've got a ghost problem and a history lesson ahead of us here. Let's go to the library.
Hey, what about this ghost professor? I mean, he was helpful and all, but he's still a ghost who needs busting.
He's trapped in the system. We need to find a way to cut his connection before he takes down the whole campus network.
I've been trying to access the maintenance console. He's blocking me.
Enough with this. I'm just gonna pull the plug.
Chris reaches for the power switch, but before he can pull it, the ghostly image of Professor Blackwell speaks again, calmer but still threatening.
You think you can simply disconnect me? I am the network now, and I will never leave.
Suddenly, the lights flicker, and the monitors around the room display images of classrooms, hallways, and other parts of the campus. It's as if Professor Blackwell has control over every AV system in the university.
Oh crap. He's not just in this terminal. He's using the entire AV network to stay connected. We have to shut him all down at once, or he'll keep coming back.
Yeah, but if we do that, we'll crash everything. Every system on campus will be down, and we'll have to update the firmware on all of it in order to restore them.
Better a campus crash than a haunted network. Let's do this.
Finally, something simple.
The team quickly gathers around the main terminal. Jamie types rapidly on his laptop, bypassing security protocols. Mark begins strategically unplugging cables, while Larry monitors the network traffic and holds Chris back from cutting cables at random. The ghostly face on the monitor becomes more agitated.
No, you fools! You don't understand!
The monitors around the room start flashing, and a high-pitched noise fills the air. The lights dim further, flickering between darkness and a blinding white.
Y'all, you have to cut him off right now.
This is the worst case of rapid spanning tree-induced multicast storm that I've seen since I connected VoIP DSPs directly to the building network. Give me a second. There. Hold on. One more.
Jamie hits a final key on the laptop, and the room falls silent. The ghostly image of Professor Blackwell flickers, then vanishes. The lights stabilize, and the monitors go dark. For a moment, there is complete silence.
There. Done and done.
It looks like we've severed his connection, and for good this time.
Suddenly, the static on the laptop clears, and Justin's image appears, smiling and more solid than before.
Woohoo! Look at that. You did it. And you freed me again, and him. Thank you, AVSuperfriends.
Hey, what are friends for? Now let's get you out of here and back where you belong.
The team begins to pack up their equipment, the mood lighter, as they prepare to head back up to the surface. The camera feed on one of the monitors flickers, showing a peaceful, quiet library above. The haunting is over, for now. The team exits the server room, Justin's ghostly figure fading last, a look of peace on his face.
You've come so far, you've found your way, but there are things you should not say. The ghosts you chase, the halls you seek are tied to secrets buried deep. This place was built on ancient ground where shadows whisper without a sound. It's not just wires or systems failed, it's history that's been derailed. Beware the power you try to fix, for ancient forces play their tricks. There's more at stake than just these rooms. The spirits stir, the danger looms. Beware the power we try to fix, for ancient forces play their tricks. We're not afraid, we'll face what's here with tools in hand. We've got no fear, we'll fix the mess, we'll solve the scheme, no matter how dark the dream. Go brave fools into the storm, but remember the shadows take their form. Beware the power we try to fix, for ancient forces play their tricks.
Scene 5. A new threat emerges. The scene returns to the AVSuperfriends mobile, now driving down a sidewalk between buildings on the dark university campus. The night has fully set in, and a thick fog begins to roll in, adding to the eerie atmosphere. The team looks both relieved and tired, yet there is still a sense of tension in the air. Mark is driving, with Larry in the passenger seat and Jamie and Chris in the back, their equipment piled between them. The laptop sits open on Larry's lap, showing the now clear image of Justin.
Okay, guys, I'm relieved that you all saved me and everything else, but there's still something going on here. Something just doesn't feel right.
What do you mean, Justin? We shut down the source in the basement. The interference is gone.
Yeah, but my spidey senses still sense there's something in here, and it's not over yet. There's a presence. It's lurking somewhere deeper. It's more hidden.
Oh, come on. Can we just have one straightforward haunting?
Oh, come on. We're just that lucky.
Suddenly, the lights on campus flicker violently, and the entire area is plunged into darkness. The AVSuperfriends mobile screeches to a halt as the street lamps and building lights go out one by one.
Okay, that's definitely not normal.
Larry pulls out his tablet and checks the status of the campus network. His face grows more serious as he reads.
Okay, that is why you never put lights on your control system. The whole network just went offline. Not just the AV systems, everything. Power, security, communications, all of it. No need to worry about zero trust. I guess everything is on permanent private island now.
Oh, great. What's next? Poltergeist with power tools?
Something or someone is still mucking around in here, and I think it's coming from...
Suddenly, Justin's image glitches and fades. A new, darker voice fills the air. A voice that sounds almost mechanical, but with a sinister undertone.
You should not have meddled. You have only awakened what was dormant.
The voice fades, leaving a heavy silence in the air. The team exchanges worried glances.
Okay, that's new.
Yeah, I'm trying to track that source, but this one's different. It's like masking itself.
Whoever or whatever that is, it's taken over the entire campus network. We need to find the central power hub. That's the only way to reboot the whole system and flush it out.
And let me guess, the central power hub is in the creepiest, oldest, smelliest, and most remotest building on campus, right?
Bingo! The old science building. It's been closed for renovations for several years. Ever since that guy hit the main power line while coring for floor devices.
You should not be here. You are meddling in forces beyond your comprehension.
Okay, careful. It's waiting for you all, and it knows you all are on the way.
His image fades out again, leaving the screen blank.
All right, team. Looks like we're headed to the old science building. Everyone gear up.
The scene shifts to the exterior of the old science building. The fog has thickened, and the building looms in the darkness, its windows cracked and covered with dust. The entrance is boarded up, but a faint light can be seen flickering inside. The team approaches cautiously, their flashlights cutting through the fog.
Oh man, this place. Look at it, it's straight out of a horror movie. I love it.
Hey, speak for yourself.
They reach the main door, and Mark begins prying off the boards with a crowbar. The door creaks open, revealing a dark, dusty hallway lined with old lab equipment and flickering fluorescent lights.
The Power comes in from the lower level, just down that hallway and to the right.
All right, stay close and keep your eyes peeled.
They move cautiously down the hallway. The flickering lights create an eerie, strobe-like effect, casting strange shadows on the walls. They pass old classrooms with broken windows and overturned desks, the air filled with dust. As they approach the stairs leading to the lower level, they hear a faint humming sound, similar to the one from the library, but deeper and more resonant.
Do you all hear that? That sound. It's almost alive.
Suddenly, a cold wind rushes past them, and the lights flicker violently. A distorted, shadowy figure appears at the far end of the hallway, tall, dark, and almost featureless except for its glowing eyes.
You should not have come here. This is my domain now.
The figure moves closer, and the team instinctively backs up, keeping their flashlights trained on it.
We've dealt with ghosts before. What makes you so special?
Probably the Wi-Fi connection. Justin, who is this?
That's old Eleanor Grayson. She was a professor of history and technology here. She vanished years ago, and no one knew where she went. But hey, guess what? Lucky me, I found her.
The shadow figure flickers, its form wavering like a bad signal. The lights dim further, and the humming intensifies, filling the hallway with a deep, vibrating sound.
You cannot fix what has been unleashed. The foundation of this university was built on sacred ground, and Blackwell's foolishness opened the gates.
We need to move now.
They make a break for the stairs, descending quickly into the basement. The humming grows louder, and the lights flicker more violently. They reach the bottom and find themselves in a large open room filled with old rusty machinery and a massive power control panel at the far end.
Whoa, hey, look, there, that's the main power panel.
Let's get it done.
As they approach the power panel, the shadowy figure appears again in front of them, its voice echoing through the room.
You cannot stop me. I am everywhere. I am the network. You are fools. You cannot stop what is coming. The barrier has been shattered, and the old ones will return to reclaim this ground. You will be consumed, just as Blackwell was.
Look, if you want us out, you'll have to do better than vague threats. Tell us what we're up against, or step aside.
The ghostly spirit seems to pause, as if contemplating. The room falls into an uneasy silence before the voice returns, this time with a chilling calm.
Very well. You wish to know the truth? Inside the old observatory, there lies a chamber. It is where Blackwell conducted his experiments, and where he unleashed the Old One's power. You will find what you seek there, but be warned, you are walking into a trap.
Wait, a trap? What kind of trap? Why are you telling us this now?
I tell you because you will not leave this place alive. Your fate is already sealed, but perhaps you can delay the inevitable. If you stop the ritual that is being prepared, you may survive long enough to escape.
The team looks at each other, the weight of the voice's words sinking in. The tension in the room is palpable.
Ritual? What ritual? Blackwell was never part of any ritual. This is yet again something else.
The ritual was set in motion long before Blackwell's time. He was merely the catalyst, the one who cracked the door open. Now it cannot be closed.
Great, so we're dealing with an ancient, angry spirit and now a ritual? Why didn't anyone tell me this when I signed up for AV work?
Yeah, I guess we're really in the ghost-busting business now, huh?
We need to get to that chamber in the observatory. If that's where this started, it's where we'll find our answers.
Right. Let's gear up. If there's a ritual happening, we're stopping it. I don't care if we have to face the old ones themselves.
As they prepare to leave, the voice fades, but its final words linger ominously.
Remember, you are already too late. The power beneath this place will not be denied, and when it rises, none of you will survive.
And while we're still here, let's reboot this system and bust this ghost.
Larry reaches the control panel and begins typing rapidly, using the default password of admin1 to bypass the security protocols. Jamie sets up his laptop next to him, while Mark and Chris stand guard, watching the shadowy figure, which seems to be multiplying, flickering in and out like a bad signal.
It's not just this system. We need to reset every system. But if we do this wrong, we could fry every circuit on campus.
No pressure, right?
Chris grabs an old power strip and wields it like a medieval mace, swinging it at the nearest figure, which dissipates into a cloud of static before reforming a few feet away.
They just keep coming back.
You're running out of time, man.
Got it. Resetting now.
Larry hits the enter key, and the entire room goes dark. There is a moment of complete silence, followed by a loud hum as the power begins to reboot. The lights flicker back on, and the shadowy figures vanish, leaving only the team in the room, breathing heavily.
No! Don't reboot me. I'll be back. I'll be back!
Oh, thank God you did it. Think she's gone. For now?
All right, another job well done by the AVSuperfriends.
Let's just get out of here before something else decides to wake up.
Agreed. But we should stay alert. I have a feeling this isn't over yet.
They start packing up their gear, ready to leave the basement. The lights flicker one last time, but this time it feels less ominous. Just an old building settling back into quiet. The room lights dim, leaving a faint glow as they make their way back up the stairs, heading toward the exit. A soft, eerie melody plays, hinting that the mystery might not be fully resolved.
We've heard the story, we've seen the signs. Ghosts in the wires, spirits in the lines. But we've got brains, we've got the gear. We're gonna face this, no room for fear. We've got to focus, we've got to plan. Think of the users, do what we can. We'll map the source, trace the past, and fix the tech so it's built to last. We've got a plan, we've got the tools. We're gonna break the haunted rules. With teamwork strong and minds so bright, we'll fix this mess, we'll win this fight. We've got a plan, we've got the tools. We're gonna break the haunted rules. The AVSuperfriends are here. We'll fix this now, we've got no fear.
Scene 6, Into the Unknown. The scene returns to the AVSuperfriends mobile again, parked outside the old science building. The fog has lifted slightly, revealing the team standing around the vehicle. The air is tense. The team members are gathered around a laptop, with Jamie typing furiously. Larry is reviewing a digital map of the campus on his tablet, while Mark paces nearby, clearly agitated. Chris stands with his arms crossed, staring out into the dark night. Justin's image flickers faintly on the laptop screen, looking concerned.
So we've restored the power and cleared the interference from the network. But there's still something off.
Yeah, that presence I felt earlier, it's back, guys. The best part is it feels stronger and it's more pissed off than ever, and I think it's still feeding off the power, so we need to do something about it.
Of course it is. Why wouldn't it? It's not like we're dealing with a rational technology problem here. These hauntings are worse than the annual maintenance agreements.
Great. So what now? Hunt for more ghostly hotspots until we find the big bad one?
Yeah, there's this thing, though. I've been running some tests. And look, I think I found something. There's a weird energy signature coming from the east wing of the campus. The old observatory.
The old observatory? The one that's been shut down for years? Since the...
He pauses, looking thoughtfully at the map.
Since the what, Larry?
Since the university's first radio broadcast engineer disappeared, he was rumored to have been obsessed with finding a way to communicate with other dimensions.
Oh, good. Because this needed to get weirder.
If that's true, then he's the one who's been messing with the energy in here. He's drawing power from the campus network. I was always told it was never the network, but here we are.
Then I guess we're headed to the observatory and shutting down whatever it's got running. Because if we don't, this whole place could become a permanent ghost town.
No pressure, right?
The team nods in agreement, and Mark starts the van. The vehicle speeds off toward the east wing of the campus, headlights cutting through the darkness. The sound of the engine is amplified against the eerie quiet of the night. The team arrives at the old observatory, an imposing dome-shaped structure with a long abandoned telescope on the roof. The building is covered in ivy, and its windows are broken or boarded up. The team arrives at the entrance, and Mark uses a flashlight to scan the area. The faint hum of machinery can be heard from within.
All right, stay sharp. We don't know what we're walking into.
They move cautiously toward the door, which is slightly ajar. Jamie pushes it open, and it creaks loudly. They enter the dark interior, their flashlights revealing a room filled with old, dusty equipment and cobweb-covered control panels. The faint hum grows louder.
This place is ancient, but there's still power running here.
Oh, good. There's something new here. It's like a gateway or some kind of door.
The team moves deeper into the observatory. They reach a large central chamber where a massive, rusted telescope dominates the room. In the center, an old control panel is still lit up, displaying strange symbols and erratic energy readings. A large, glowing crystal hovers above the panel, pulsating with an unnatural light.
Well, there's a problem. Jamie, is this a case of legacy end-of-life run afoul?
Oh, it's beautiful. Definitely not standard issue, but it's glorious. And it's probably the source of everything.
Anyone else getting the ancient cult vibes? Jamie, can you...
Suddenly, a ghostly figure materializes in front of the crystal. A tall, gaunt man in an old-fashioned jumpsuit and a string bow tie. His face is stern, eyes glowing with an eerie green light. This can only be Victor Carrington, the missing radio engineer.
You dare to interfere with my work? I have spent decades perfecting my high-flex modality, and you think you can just walk in and end it?
We're not here to end anything except the chaos you've caused. The campus needs its network back, and you're draining it.
The network. The network is nothing compared to the power of the beyond. I've tapped into realms you can't even begin to comprehend. It is not a simple spell or incantation. It's a convergence of energy, a binding of the old ones to this place. The barrier was shattered years ago, but the ritual is what will bring them fully into our world.
All right, you listen here, you Colonel Sanders-looking son of a bitch. I was trapped here because of you, dealing with Billy Mays and other random ghosts because of you. Countless others have suffered because of this mess you've made. We're done. It's over. This has to end now.
You were merely collateral damage. But now you can all join me. When the ritual completes, the old ones will rise. Their power will consume this place, and they will reshape it to their will. This university, it will be their dominion.
He waves his hand, and the crystal's light grows brighter, sending a wave of energy through the room. The AVSuperfriends stagger back, their equipment crackling with static. The air grows colder, and the lights flicker wildly.
We've got to overload the system. If we disrupt the energy flow, we might be able to shut them down.
I'm on it. Just give me a minute. I'm almost there.
And I'll handle the direct approach.
Chris lunges forward, wrapping a cable around the base of the control panel and preparing to simply pull it over. The crystal pulses faster, sensing the threat. Victor raises his hand, and a gust of wind knocks Chris back.
You will not disrupt my work. The ritual's already underway. You are too late, and nothing you do will matter.
Oh, God, hurry up, guys. He's getting stronger.
This chamber is a focal point. It was built long before the university, long before the town itself. The Old One's power lies beneath this very ground, and the symbols you see are part of the binding.
Then we break the binding. If we can disrupt the crystal, maybe we can stop the ritual before it completes.
You think you can reverse an ancient ritual with a few tools and some modern gadgets?
Hey, everything needs a power source. We'll just interrupt that.
Larry pulls out a portable EMP device and nods to Mark.
When I say go, hit the main switch.
Got it. Also, where the hell did you get that?
Oh, this, I stole it out of Jamie's bag.
Hold on, I'm almost there. Just a few more seconds.
Victor Carrington begins chanting in a low, haunting tone. The crystal's glow intensifies, and the room fills with a blinding light.
Now, go!
Mark slams down on the switch, and Larry activates the EMP. There's a loud crackle as the energy in the room surges. The crystal's light wavers, then flickers violently. Victor screams in rage as his form begins to distort, his chanting turning to static.
No. This cannot be.
With a final, deafening hum, the crystal shatters into 1,000 pieces, and Victor Carrington's figure dissipates into a mist, fading away. The lights return to normal, and the hum of the machinery stops.
Oh, wow. We actually did it.
I'm telling you, it never hurts to cut the power and reboot stuff.
Another day, another ghost. Larry, give me back my EMP.
All right, everyone. Let's get the hell out of here before something else decides to show up.
They begin to pack up their equipment, clearly exhausted, but satisfied.
Let's not celebrate too soon. There could still be more we don't know about.
The team nods, and they head toward the exit. As they leave, the lights in the observatory flicker one last time, and a faint, ghostly whisper can be heard.
You may have won this time. Death is but a doorway. Time is but a window. I'll be back.
Did he really just quote Ghostbusters?
Well, Ghostbusters 2. You get 63% credit for that.
The team leaves the observatory and begins loading their gear back into the van.
There's something in these walls we can't ignore. A history that lingers hiding more. The systems glitch, the signals twist. Something we missed, something's amiss. These spirits speak of shadows from the past. A legacy, a curse that's meant to last. The hauntings grow, the danger's near, but there's a reason we're all here. In the shadows of the past, we fight technology and ghosts. Collide, what was lost will soon be found. In every glitch we hear the sound. Together we'll unravel, we'll make it right. In the shadows, we'll bring back the light. In the shadows of the past, We fight technology and ghosts collide. What was lost will soon be found. In every glitch we hear the sound. Together we'll unravel, we'll make it right. In the shadows, we'll bring back the light.
Scene 7, The Aftermath and Farewell. The scene returns back in the AVSuperfriends mobile, parked on the sidewalk in front of the main university building. The early morning light is breaking through, signaling the end of a long and harrowing night. The team looks worn out, but relieved. There's a sense of calm after the storm. Mark is at the driver's seat. Jamie is on the laptop, finishing up a final report. Chris is napping. Larry is on a call with the university's administration.
Yes, the situation's under control. You should start seeing everything return to normal. Uh-huh. Of course. And maybe think about hiring a better AV manager next time? Yeah, thank you.
He hangs up and turns to the group.
Okay, they're sending over our payment and a thank you gift basket.
Ooh, good. I hope there's cookies in it. I'm starving.
For once, Chris, I agree with you.
Justin appears on the laptop screen, his image clearer and brighter than before. He looks relieved and content.
Well, I think we actually finally did it, maybe. The connection's severed and Victor's influence is gone, has been purged from the campus. Man, I wonder who's going to update that ticket.
Let's see. All the network systems are back online. Students should be able to access their assignments, professors their presentations, with no more ghostly interference. Looks like we're good.
It wasn't just about fixing the tech this time. We uncovered a piece of history that everyone had forgotten. A story that was buried and needed to be told.
Yeah. And that's what makes this job so, let's call it, unique. It's never just about the wires and the circuits.
There's still one thing left, y'all. What about me?
The team grows quiet. Justin looks around at his friends, smiling sadly.
It's okay, y'all. I've been thinking about this. Now that Victor's gone, might have a chance to move on to something new, maybe.
Oh, wait, Justin, you're not talking about. You're not leaving us, are you?
I think it might be time. I've been hanging around in this digital realm for a while now, and there's maybe something else out there for me that I need to discover.
Yeah, because being stuck in the metaverse with us isn't exactly paradise, is it?
Hey, don't rush off just yet. You're still part of the team, ghost or not.
Thanks, guys, but I need to go find myself in this new world. I'm at peace with it. I feel like I can finally let go.
The team nods, understanding. There's a sense of bittersweet farewell in the air. Justin raises a hand in a salute, and the others return it solemnly.
Well, AVSuperfriends, it's been an honor.
A soft light begins to surround Justin's image. He glows brighter, his form becoming less digital and more ethereal. He begins to fade, but his smile remains.
Oh. We'll miss you, man. Goodbye, ghostly Justin.
No worries, I'll miss you all too, but I'll always be here, always be around. If you need help, just ask, just holler my name.
With a final burst of light, Justin vanishes. The laptop screen goes dark, and the van is silent for a moment.
Well, there he goes.
Yeah, I think he found his peace.
Yeah. And we still have a campus to save. What's next on the list?
Well, the university wants us to check out a few other places on campus, just in case.
Sounds like a job for the AVSuperfriends.
The team laughs, and the mood lightens. They all pile back into their seats, and Mark starts the engine again.
All right, team. let's go show this campus what we can do again.
Next up, the Engineering Archives. I hear there's some unexplained activities down there as well.
Just another day on the job. Whoever said higher ed AV would be boring?
The AVSuperfriends mobile pulls away, driving off into the early morning light. The sun rises over the campus, a new day beginning. The sounds of the campus returning to life. Students chatting, professors walking to their classes, fills the air as the team drives toward their next challenge.
From haunted screens to busted wires, we put out tech's weirdest fires. With tools in hand, we saved the day and sent those ghosts on their way. We tried our tricks, we did our best, but this time it wasn't just a test. Cheap or fancy doesn't matter now, we fixed it up, we showed them how. Together strong, we made it through. Tech and teamwork, that's what we do. From history's past to the present call, we solved the mystery once and for all. AVSuperfriends to the rescue. No tech problem we can't undo. From the wires to the spirits, we stand tall. We fixed it up, we conquered all. Came together, we faced the fight. Fix the systems, set things right. From haunted screens to busted wires, we put out tech's weirdest fires. Put out tech's weirdest fires. With tools in hand, we saved the day and sent those ghosts on their way. Ghosts on their way. We tried our tricks, we did our best, but this time it wasn't just a test. Just a test, a test. Cheap or fancy doesn't matter now. We fixed it up, we showed them how. Showed them how. Together strong, we made it through. Tech and teamwork, that's what we do. Tech and teamwork, that's what we do. From history's past to the present call, we solved the mystery once and for all. AVSuperfriends to the rescue. No tech problem we can't undo. From the wires to the spirits, we stand tall. We fixed it up, we conquered all.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight for AVSuperfriends, The Ghost in the Machine. Let's give a round of applause for the amazing team behind this production. First, let's give it up for our incredible cast of characters. Mark, the clever technician, played by Mark Kolowazinski. Jamie, the frugal engineer, brought to life by Jamie Reinhardt. Larry, the ever-thoughtful designer, performed by Larry Darling. Chris, the blunt yet brilliant AV specialist, portrayed by Chris Decter. And last but not least, Justin, the metaverse adventurer, played by Justin Rexing. Plus, a special thanks to the other memorable characters: Jerry, the hapless AV manager, played by Atkins Fleming; Professor Harold Winthrop, played by Donnie Merritt; Dr. Eleanor Grayson, performed by Britt Yenzer; Victor Carrington, the unknown voice, voiced by Chris Netto; Mr. Carson, our long-suffering staff member, played by Frank Alamo; Professor Blackwell, portrayed by Richard Mitchell; and the ever-charming class clown, Cameron, portrayed by Cameron Sofsky. Now, let's hear it for the behind-the-scenes magic makers who made tonight possible. Tonight's production was directed by Christopher Decter. Original script by Christopher Decter. Music and lyrics by Christopher Dector with cheater help by AI. Editing by Mark Kolowazinski. And my name is Jerry Langford, and it's been my pleasure to be your narrator for this evening. We'd also like to extend a special thanks to the fine folks at Independent Amalgamated. And most importantly, a huge thank you to all of you, our wonderful audience, for your energy, laughter, and support. We hope you had a great time. Make sure to follow the AV Super Friends on Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Share your favorite moments and spread the word about the hauntings and the heroes of this cursed campus. And remember, if your projector ever starts acting up, you know who to call.